Hey, what is up YouTube? This is Merman Master coming at you guys from the Team Time Riders YouTube channel, and I'm back again with an update to my Spacian Neo/Jaden style deck here. This is going to be post Maze of Memories, thanks to the fact that we got the brand new Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. So I'm super excited to show you guys this deck profile, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So, starting things out, a Spacian deck could not be complete without 2 copies of Elemental Hero Neos. Now this is down from 3 in my previous build. 3 can be a little bit bricky thanks to a lot of the cards that we have to get this card to the grave, shuffle it back into the deck, and basically just get Neos where we want it, when we want it. Of course, this wouldn't be a Spacian deck without running all 6 of the Spacian monsters. Now, most people choose to run 3 or 4 of these. I personally really like all 6, and I've organized them, I guess, basically from most useful to least useful, with the 2 most useful being Spacian Aqua Dolphin for its ability to rip out hand traps, and then Spacian Air Hummingbird is actually fantastic in time. We can just summon it out using any number of cards in this deck, and it will just boost up your life points by 2,500 on the very first turn. And there's not much that can negate that, so it's just such a good card. Moving on, we are also running a small hero package as well. 1 copy of Elemental Hero Blazeman, 1 copy of Elemental Hero Prisma, 1 copy of Elemental Hero Stratos, and 1 copy of Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. And finally, closing things out, we've got a single copy of Space Connector to cover up for the level 4 options in this deck. Now for a couple of level 7 options. The brand new support card from Power of the Elements. We've got 2 copies of Elemental Hero Spirit of Neos. Now this card is fantastic. It triggers in your hand during the battle phase. And anytime it's special summoned, whether by its own effect or by another, you get to add any card that mentions Elemental Hero monster's card name in its text from your deck to your hand. So that's Space, that's any of the brand new support cards. It just searches everything in your deck and is a key linchpin. 3 is too big of a number because you can always shuffle it back using its effect to special summon the OG Elemental Hero Neos out of your deck. But this guy is just great for helping to shore up your life points and can protect you in a pinch, basically based on the scene in the movie where Neos protected Jaden from a shot by Paradox's Malefic Dragon. So very, very good card. Next, of course, we've got Honesty Neos, classic card for closing out games. Another one we have in this deck is 1 copy of Crosskeeper. I'm honestly thinking about bumping this card up to 2 or 3 thanks to how powerful of a card this actually is. Right now it's just in here at 1. You discard it from your hand to the grave to special summon a hero or Spacian from hand or grave, which is great. And then, but if you summon it from the grave, the effect of that monster is negated. And then anytime you special summon a fusion monster, and this is not even just for fusion summoning, this is anytime you special one, you can banish this card from your graveyard to draw 2 cards and place 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. So this is perfect if you make the mistake, like I always do, of drawing into this card. It's the single copy of Rainbow Dark Dragon. Just a really unfortunate if you draw it, but you basically just run this in here for the power play with Rainbow Neos. That's going to do it for our monsters. Spells are up next. Starting out our spell cards, we are still running 3 copies of Neos Fusion. Neos Fusion is the best fusion spell in the deck because this is just such a great first turn play. You can grab your Rainbow Neos. If you're going to use it for Yubel, you can use it for that effect as well. It's just such a good card and very, very underrated, and I definitely do believe this is one of those cards that can help you to shore up your defenses, especially when it's grave, because its effect to protect your monsters is not even an activated effect. Next, we are running 2 copies of Hero Lives. Pay half your life, special level 4 hero. This is basically just in here to boost up the power of your Air Neos. It takes 4K right out of your life points at the start. So of course, terrible card in time, and I have lost several times because I'll like draw into this and just be in time situation. But this is so good to close out OTKs against your opponent because you just activate it, spend 4,000, get a monster, you know, if you've got a way to get Air Hummingbird to hand or onto the field, as well as the Neos, your Air Neos is going to instantly come out at 6,500 attack power. So that's also really good. 2 copies of E-Call helps you search your heroes, particularly your Spirit of Neos, which is always a plus. 2 copies of Favorite Hero. This is one of the best cards. Basically, it is targeting protection and just gets your monsters really, really beefy. You pair that together with a single copy of Neospace, which your favorite heroes can grab right out of the deck. This also allows you to run several different side cards, such as Necro Valleys and other things like that, and just really push a lot of damage against your opponent in a very short period of time. With the targeting protection plus the destruction protection from your Neos fusion, it's just really, really great to kind of help out against numerous decks that are in the format. 1 copy of Polymerization. This card is necessary to run with some of the new support cards, particularly EN Engage Neospace. 1 copy of Reinforcements of the Army, pretty self-explanatory. This is just great because there's some things in here that are only searchable by this card, such as your Crosskeeper and your Neospace connector, and so the ability to grab those out, and to even, if you want, grab an Aqua Dolphin as well, is just really good, and that extra search power is much needed. 1 copy of Miracle Contact. Basically works like the new trap card as well. You just shuffle things from your hand, field, and grave back into the deck to special summon a Neos fusion. And keyword here is it special summons a monster, so that's why Crosskeeper allows you to activate its effect when they're special summoned as opposed to fusion summoned. Now, starting off with some of the new support cards, 2 copies of EN Engage Neospace. I'm honestly thinking about bumping this card up to 3 because it's so good. It has so many different effects. It basically kind of acts like the old Contact draw spell card, Convert Contact. You send 1 hero from your hand to the grave, hero or Neospace monster from your hand to your grave, and then send the opposite one from your deck to grave. Then you special summon an elemental hero or Spacian to the field, and then after that you search a Polymerization. So good. Just pretty much like sets up your graveyard, sets up your hand, sets up your field, just searches you to pretty much everything that you need, and it's just like a combo starter. So I'm really thinking about bumping this card up to 3. Definitely something to consider if you guys are choosing to build this deck. Next card we've got in here, up from 1 that I had it at before, but it's now at 2 in this deck. Instant Contact basically allows you to grab any level 7 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck that's an elemental hero, and this is just so good. And if you've got a Neos on your field or in your graveyard, that monster's effect is not negated. So it's just basically just calls out the monster ASAP, and it's so good. Funny interaction is this can actually work with Contact Out if you have the materials in your deck, and allows you to do some cheeky plays like that should you be interested. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck here. This is 3 copies of EN Shuffle. Just take any hero or Neospacian on the field, shuffle it back into your deck, and grab another one. So you can grab Stratos, you can grab your elemental hero Spirit of Neos, just anything out of the deck, and it just puts the search level of this deck up to 11, which is fantastic. Final card we've got in here is EN Wave. Not a self-explanatory card, but it's just an extra advantage engine. When anytime like a Neos is shuffled back into the deck, you can special summon a Neospacian from a deck, and then if you're using Polymerization or other fusion spells, that allows you to grab an elemental hero from grave. So it just helps you to continue to push advantage, and to just basically has the ability to keep gaining you advantage from fusion summoning that you're doing anyway. That's it for our spell cards. Only 2 trap cards. These are your Favorite Contact. This is down from 3. Favorite Contact is probably the best card in the deck, I think, because you can use this card to go for your Cosmo Neos on your opponent's turn to basically turn skip them. And the coolest thing about Favorite Contact is when you summon a Neos fusion with this, you can also use, like when you're summoning monsters with this, you can also use cards that are banished as well. And so your opponent wants a Bestial, you can still grab the stuff from your banish zone and send it right back into the extra deck, which is just absolutely fantastic. And if you summon a Neos fusion monster with this, it will not return to the extra deck. And keep in mind, guys, this is not just by its own effect. If your opponent tries to compulse it, they can't compulse your Neos and send it back because it's just basically protected. So anything that would send it back to the extra deck, even on your opponent's side of the field, can't do it. And so it's just such a good card, and just gives the deck even more built-in protection. Extra deck is next. Starting things out is our brand new monster. We have our Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. Now, the reason why this card is so good is because you can use this with any number of fusion material monsters you have. Summons them out, gains 300 attack power for every fusion material you used. And then, if you attack a monster that your opponent controls, you can attack up to the number of fusion materials that you used for that monster. And after your damage calculation, if the monster that you battled is not destroyed, destroy the monster. And then if monsters are destroyed, you inflict the damage a la Flame Wingman to their life points. Finally, as if this card wasn't cool enough, you can basically, if it's destroyed or sent to the graveyard by battle, card effect, whatever, you can special summon a warrior monster from your hand or deck. So just absolutely fantastic card. And one of the key things that I use this in here is I use that actually with Favorite Contact, because if you're like having a long duel, this basically allows you to reset your deck, shuffling back all of your fusion monsters, anything that you used in your graveyard, back into the deck. It's just such an easy card to make and increases the versatility and power ceiling of this deck by so much. So absolutely a great card to have. Speaking of cards that act like that, we've got one copy of Flame Wingman, summonable off of your instant contact. Really great card, and the reason why we have that in here is for the other power-packed beast of this deck, and that is your Shining Neos Wingman. You can make this card with just 2 cards in the deck. It just like blows up a whole bunch of stuff on your opponent's field, gains a bunch of attack thanks to the monsters in your graveyard, is indestructible by card effects, and has that same powerful Flame Wingman effect to destroy everything on your opponent's side of the field. And inflict that like massive points of damage to them. So once this thing is out, like your opponent's not doing much to it. So it's just so good. Of course, one of the deck's headliners in here is Cosmo Neos. Got this really nice Japanese ultra rare, or ultimate rare. Can't run this in an actual tournament, so I do have a original super. Cosmo Neos is the turn skip monster, and so I pretty much don't need to say anything about that, but that combo is very key and can just steals games left and right. Now, moving on to some of our main monsters in this deck, guys. We have the OG6. We've got one copy of Grand Neos, one copy of Flare Neos, one copy of Aqua Neos, one copy of Glow Neos, one copy of Dark Neos, and finally one copy of Air Neos. Each one of the Neos monsters has its own powerful effects. Special highlights to Glow and Air, which have been kind of the MVPs as of recently. Glow for its ability to pop spells, and Air for the high attack power that it has that can just end games in a surprising fashion. And so both, like all 6 of those guys are really good. In addition, we've got Brave Neos for running over your opponent's monsters. We've got a single copy here of your Elemental Hero Storm Neos, which is also a fantastic card, but mainly used to just be able to send some of the materials off of your Air Hummingbird and Aqua Dolphin, your 2 best Neospacians in the deck. Nebula Neos, the best of the triple contact fusion guys. Rainbow Neos, just basically summon that off. And I'm thinking about actually possibly removing this card from the deck, surprisingly, just to increase the level of consistency that we have. And while this card is really good, it doesn't do anything on your opponent's turn, and so could be a nice option for going second. Final card in this deck is one copy of Neospacian Marine Dolphin. Now, this card is so awesome because basically, if you don't have the plays that you need, you can use this plus the Neo Fusion to go for a Cosmo Neos, even if you only have 2 Neospacians, which is really good. It also counts as a Neospacian, and with that new Flame Swordsman fusion spell card, you can actually use Marine Neos to grab this straight out of the extra deck and special summon it to the board. So it's really awesome to be able to have that. And that's going to do it for my Elemental Hero Neos deck profile. If you guys liked it, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And this has been the Merman Master signing out. Catch you guys next time. Peace.